feel like this 100% in real estate, especially in rentals. I tend to just take for granted all the good stuff. Oh, I buy properties at 70 cents on the dollar using other people's money, and then I get the appreciation for the whole value of the property. Just that statement is unbelievable, right? We have this insane, unbelievable opportunity in real estate that you can't get anywhere else. And so, I mean, one that I really like was it was probably about my 10th house, 10th or 12th. I had a friend of mine refer this seller to me because they had refinanced their house, interest rates were low, and they had pulled out all the equity that they could. Oh, wow. Okay. Then they had another child, and the ranch house was just too tight. They couldn't take it anymore. And the husband had a really good job, so he could qualify for another mortgage. So they had already bought another house and were getting ready to move, but they couldn't sell their first house without bringing money to the closing because there wasn't enough equity even for realtor fees and costs. And so they reached out to me just to see if there was any way I could help them sell their house without having to bring money to the table. And I, walked through the house, and it's a beautiful, right? I mean, the beautiful ranch in a great neighborhood, the school district I grew up in, and I turned out reasonably well. So it must be somewhat decent schools, I guess. Yeah, well, and I complimented them on the house, and I said, they just did not want to bring money to the closing table, and they didn't want to be a property manager, and they just thought they were going to have 2 mortgages. And I said, I love your house. I am good at dealing with tenants. I don't have a problem with that. How about I give you a little bit of money for the little bit of equity you have in the house, and then I'll take over your mortgage, and you can walk away from the property and never think about it again. And I kind of held my breath like, there's no way this will work. And they said, that sounds amazing. Yeah, that's exactly what they wanted. They got some money for selling their house. They didn't have 2 mortgages, and they didn't have to be a property manager. And we closed on that property. It was like 3 days of just, some repainting. And I think we did maybe a tile backsplash. And that's been the same tenant ever since. I forget where the property is occasionally. When I get my hair cut over in that area, I'm like, I should drive by and just, see how it is. But yeah, it's just one of those deals where when you're using other people's money and then controlling an asset that not only generates monthly passive cash flow, but appreciation and all the tax benefits. And it's another one of those where you're like, this is just an amazing deal. Yeah. And the sellers were so grateful, right? They were so grateful that I solved their problem for them and for me and my business. That worked out amazing.